Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. My name is Steve Torsall. I'm the founder of Wholesale Investor. I'd just like to say welcome to the Future Disrupted. This is officially my passion event. So for the last 3 months, I've sort of been communicating to everyone about the sort of thesis and the reason why we're doing this event. And obviously this is a new name for us for what we're doing, but it really summarizes everything that's sort of taking place, from what we're seeing from an innovation perspective. And whilst this last sort of 18 months has obviously been a challenging time, a frustrating time for so many people, it actually represents one of the greatest opportunities going forward. So for me, innovation space has definitely had a hard period over at least last 18 months, but there's actually a lot of things to be excited about. And so in my sort of opening talk today, I'm not going to spend too much time because I want the event to speak to that all the disruption we're seeing, all the opportunities we're seeing, etc. But the key parts that really from an investor's perspective, from a company's builder's perspective, and I know many of you sit on both sides, said this really is the period of change and everything is moving a lot faster than what it did previously. So, couple things that I'll be covering is that, and I've mentioned this in quite a few of the talks that I've done, is that right now is that convergence of business trends, technological trends, and also, the combination of demographic trends as well. It is really helping to see the platform technologies that will be sort of talked about as part of today. It's seeing that accelerate faster. And one of the other things I've been talking about a lot in my presentations is if you look at technology and the rate of adoption of technology, it typically follows an S-curve adoption. And so as part of that, a lot of the technologies that we're covering today, the platform technologies really, basically speak to that transformation. So as part of today, one of the first presentations is going to be from Mark Pert. Mark's from DIT Agtech, and his conversation is going to be around the future of food and the future of Agtech. And I've now worked with Mark for the last sort of 3 to 4 years, and I've watched him build, watched him grow, and watched him become a leader and expert sort of in this space. And so really looking forward to hearing his presentation on what he sees, because one of the best parts about when you're working with people that are not only sort of building funds in this space, but are also operators in the space, they have a very strong, sector focused, and all the different conversations they're having day to day, they can share the thesis behind each of those. And then Paul Cooper, it's really interesting. One of the areas that's come on strong for us now for the last 6 to 12 months has actually been the area of advanced manufacturing. And this is, for so long, all everyone wants to talk about is the latest software company to invest into. And then right now you're seeing strong interest in advanced manufacturing. You're seeing strong interest in, obviously, renewable energy technologies. And then, a lot of these obviously require sort of hardware and sort of physical, items to that. And then this combines with different things we're seeing in medical device. So precision engineering, advanced manufacturing have all become hotspots for areas for growth for investors. And in their words, hardware is the new software. And the other part the other one to mention is Amit from the ASX. Amit, cannot say enough nice things about him. He's going to give us an update on what he's seeing he does the business development aspect for the ASX. And obviously there hasn't been too many IPOs lately, outside of sort of resources, but he's going to be providing a perspective on what they're seeing from their perspective of the ASX, their conversations they're having with different fund managers and their expectations for 2024. And of course, one of the things we've always seen in Australia, when we have a healthy sort of IPO market, it tends to assist with the funding of innovation because it provides that sort of exit pathway as well. The topics that we're going to be covering, we've got 3 different panel sessions. One is the future of energy, then the future of medicine and health tech, and then followed by the future of finance. All these are 3 core thematic areas that we see day to day with Wholesale Investor, that we get behind, that we're putting spotlights on for you guys on the investor side, because for us, this is where we're seeing the most rapid transitions, in different areas. And so whether it be energy related, the renewable energy tech companies that are featuring today, and we've got several of those, whether it be sort of medicine and healthcare, whether it be wearable tech, whether it be life science, we've got the likes of Leslie Chong from Imugene coming along. To me, Leslie's been an inspiration to watch her take that company from a 30 million market cap to at its peak, over 2 billion and now seeing at least a 600 million mark. More importantly, the work they are doing is, profound for anyone, who's got treatment for cancer, related sort of health issues going forward. Imugene is providing solutions for that. And then, of course, the future of finance is just a common one for all of us because, if you look at a lot of the infrastructure that relates to finance is built on technology sort of going back to the sort of 70s and 80s. And we're obviously seeing rapid adoption across many different areas. So that's going to be a fantastic conversation as well. Between the rise of non-bank lending and also all the different digital asset providers, the tokenization of assets, likewise central bank digital currencies as well. Like we're consistently seeing this roll out more and more. So really excited for that from a topic. We've got some incredible companies that are presenting today. And for me, as part of my talk, I'm going to do my best to cover some of the ones that are actually featured. So the first one, Canaponics is going to be the first company presenting. Now, Canaponics, to give you some sort of perspective, they've built a medicinal cannabis site on 165 acres of land. They've basically combined renewable energy as part of their sort of greenhouse that they've built as well. And they've got some proprietary innovations around that and how they actually do that. And effectively, they've built a vertically integrated solution for that, sort of production and also the distribution of medicinal cannabis. Next, we have, sorry, I have to go to my notes. Don't you hate when you log out straight away when you want to see it? So some of the ones I'll go through. So I see a Ryan VM. So Shang's here today. Shang, we worked with a couple of years. What an incredible story as far as how they've built basically SaaS solutions for data centers or regional areas. Like for me, the way he's built that business, grown it, and effectively in the last 2 years, they've been able to achieve 100% growth. We have Opus Ring as well. Like Opus, really developing into that sort of wearable technology solution. Natasha's going to be presenting the company today. But we all know, like all of us would probably at least have some sort of wearable device or be tracking our health in a different way. What if you could do that, take it to another level where it's actually clinically approved and can be used directly with your doctor? That's where they're sort of looking at. Voltas providing a new way to looking at sort of renewable energy opportunities in regards to the ocean. 10 Carbon taking on the area of microbials, right? And then also we've got Mizio, who's basically, if you think about it, ESG has become such a dominant area, but it's really hard to actually gather the information and then provide a simple way to report it or visualize it. And effectively they have done that. And it basically takes what used to take tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars using a range of different professional service firms. They have now done it software driven, so it's streamlined and simplified for everyone. Then also, going into companies, Proxy Twin, another favorite of mine, said Proxy Twin for any founder or any business owner is actually the dream solution. For many founders, we've talked about if only I had 5 of me. This is what these guys are looking to solve from an AI perspective. National Property Group. If you look at the 2 largest data providers in the country, they are the third, and they've set themselves up with the foundations to actually be that third provider. And we typically know what happens when a competitor comes into a market which has 2 dominants. And especially when they're growing at the rate that these guys are, they tend to be acquired by the accountants or set up very well to do that. So National Property Group's here as well. And then we have the likes of, now one of the more interesting ones that are going to be presenting today is Peter from Tampi. So Peter's got an incredible background as a business executive. And funny enough, the first time he sent me an email, I was actually blown away because his first email address he sent it to me was from crimestoppers.com.au because he's also now you can imagine what it's like getting an email from that address, but what an incredible guy. And basically creating solutions, for half the planet, and said you'll be fascinated by his presentation. All the way from New Zealand, we've got WNT Ventures. It's basically a deep tech. They're also doing a presentation on the opportunities for deep tech investing, and said they've been investing into deep tech in New Zealand. And this is once again become a high growth area of interest for investors. BioHub Solutions. Basically, if you think about it, they're taking on the opportunity as it relates to the health of soil. right? And there's millions and billions of dollars being invested into agriculture to try and improve the value of crops. So they're targeting it from the soil perspective and doing it sustainably as well, and also customizing it and being able to customizing it using technology as part of that. PYC Therapeutics, we've worked with PYC since 2009, 2010. Over the last 3 years, they have had some of their biggest breakthroughs, and they are sitting, and if you have a look at their ASX listed share price, you can see what those breakthroughs look like. They are on the cusp of their next sort of transformative moment, I should say, and have got several indications in the pipeline that could be worth billions to their potential end customers. So Rohan's basically a family office himself that is the CEO of this business. So really impressive what they've been able to do. All-tech batteries, Pollenize, taking a unique approach to education with gaming. Sienna Planning, once again, solving the massive issue that it comes to getting through, getting decisions done through councils. They're solving it with software. So Sienna Planning, really impressive. Fractal, basically taking the tokenization of assets, which has also been an area which we all know is a substantial opportunity going forward. Okay, and then obviously one last one I was going to mention is MarketLend, which probably a lot of you guys would actually know. They've built several $100 million of funds under management, basically providing a non-bank solution for SMEs in getting financing. Now they're doing it for trade financing with their new Unlock MasterCard presentation. And then also two more I'm going to mention, National Renewable Network. We've worked now with Alan and the team for the last 3 to 4 years. We've watched him exponentially grow the business, but more than that, in working with us, he's not only generated shareholders from the WI subscriber base, but also board members, clients, advisors. And the simple reason is Alan is one of the most charismatic, driven guys that you will ever see, and he's just a natural attractor. So we're very fortunate enough to work with him. And then also Waveswell. Caught up with the guys from Waveswell just in the last sort of week, and they've had some massive breakthroughs with their renewable ocean technology, with their wave energy technology, where they've actually got the proof of concept done and have now got several sort of commercial discussions in motion. And as you can know, it's probably one of the biggest sort of financial opportunities in the energy space is actually harnessing the power of the ocean. So we're really happy to have them sort of as part of the event. So that's me doing a long-winded breakdown of the companies, but I do that because I want to provide, basically this is their day. Not only do we have the panel sessions and we have the keynotes and all that sort of stuff, but effectively this is the day for the companies which are being featured. And I have to say, take the time to go and meet everyone, right? Just because every company may not be directly relevant to you and your portfolio, what's super important is a lot of the companies could be relevant to people in your networks. And that is the exact way that this ecosystem grows. We're going to have several hundred people here today, and the value of your networks is phenomenal. So always go around meeting with the different companies. And I'll give you the best example of this. In Singapore, we had Campbell Newman come along. And Campbell Newman, as you know, is a former Premier of Queensland. It was really funny. He was there to present his opportunity. He basically went around and met with all the companies, and he walked away absolutely pumped about Australian innovation, because a lot of the companies you're not going to see in the media. They don't get covered. But when you understand the power of what people are doing in here, and he actually spent the entire day introducing our companies to his own network. So, that is what I love about building ecosystems. For me, we've got everything sitting inside our app, Crisp. So literally just go to app.crisp.io. All the agenda is in there, the company's being featured in there, and also the networking as well. You'll be receiving contacts from the companies participating today. Make sure you reply to them. Make sure you organize a time to have a conversation with them during the actual day, because we want to make the most of everyone's time here. There's people that have flown in here from Perth, flown from New Zealand, flown from, come from regional Australia to participate today. So make sure everyone gets to make the most of everyone's time in being a part of this event. I won't spend too much time because I wanted to spend time on sort of talking about the companies, and I've got basically 1 minute left. But utilizing the software afterwards, if you simply go to the opportunities tab, we've done everything to build software which makes everything relevant. So investors see the most relevant deals for them, and founders see the most relevant companies for them. So effectively, all we want to do is simplify the connection between you and the companies that you're going to be interested in, right? But of course, that's online. What's beautiful about the in-person part is the fact that we can actually connect, all the different ad hoc conversations. As I said, we've integrated the conference software into it. So as soon as you go to app.chris.io, you'll be able to see all the companies featured in that event. And I'm going to finish on this closing note because this is the most important part. One conversation can change the entire trajectory of a business, right? We see that every single time we host these events. Sometimes it's not within 3 months. Sometimes I come back and I've had a conversation and I understand the network of the way in which conversations are played out across a 2 or 3 year period. And you realize the value that one conversation today sets off ripples going forward for the next 12, 24, 36 months. So absolutely make the most of your time here today. We're going to be having presentations right up until sort of 5 p.m. And then following that, we've got the networking where everyone sort of comes back, we drink, we socialize, and then the real deal making begins. But today, as I said, this is for you guys to enjoy, gather your own investment thesis about how you want to obviously invest going forward, but also to place a spotlight on the CEOs that are presenting. And that's why I want to go through each of the different companies that are presenting today, because every single one of these guys is working 24/7 to build their business. They are doing, and especially if you think about what everyone's gone through in the last 18 months, we are going above and beyond to make sure that we create a future of tomorrow, that is different from today, and we are and effectively we are the creators of it, whether it be the founders or the investors, you're helping facilitate that. So again, thank you to everyone coming to the Future Disrupted event today. Enjoy the presentations. I'm going to introduce Chella to introduce our first keynote speaker for today. Thank you.